Hey, how you guys doing? Michael here. Yeah, I tried to find a tutorial on this and I couldn't find one. As far as I know, this only works on Vortex, so before you guys get all hyped up and go, this is gonna work for you, there's a lot of steps to it. That's why the video is longer than normal. So I just want to go ahead and put it out there that I'd say back up everything that you can, like make a copy of your game and anything that you don't want to lose, because there's a possibility, depending on what you're using, you could be on Mac or you could be on, who knows, and it just may not work for you. So you probably want to do a reverse order of what we're going to do, but it's not like dangerous. I'd say the worst thing that could happen to you would be this: you'd have to uninstall the game and then reinstall it and then put all your mods back on. Now, this only works with Vortex, as far as I know. Could work with other mod managers, but hey. So I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys how I have things set up. So if you guys don't have it that way, you're going to run into things you're going to have to figure out. But what I mean by that is, like, for instance, my location of loot is actually located on my C drive. And I just use one single loot to load all of them. It works that way. So I haven't had a problem with it yet. So yeah, just a full disclosure. Just wanted to kind of point out to you guys that this works for me. It may not work for you. If it doesn't work for you, let me know what happened in the comments so I could maybe change the video or even take the video down. Maybe it's that way. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So basically what we want to do here is we want to take our game. So I have Fallout 4 on my D drive here, and it has all of the mods on it, but I don't want to have to reinstall all of them. So this has actually worked for me about 5 times. I just did it basically I just put in Skyrim Special Edition on this new drive. It's a much faster drive. It's a solid state, so that's going to work out really good. So now I want to put my Fallout in there. So I don't like the fact that when I see people do tutorials when it comes to this, they don't actually show themselves actually go into the game and show it working, and then at the end show it working. Now you could probably, fudge it, if you know what I'm talking about. You could probably edit it out. I am going to make some edits here and there in this video, but it's not going to be for that stuff. Probably the only edit I'll actually be making will be either cut out music or just to make the video a little bit shorter. So yeah, here's the game working on the D drive. So I do not know if this would work for Skyrim, the original LE. I have never tried it, but I do know for a fact it works with pretty much every Bethesda game as long as you're using Vortex. Now this could change in the future. You guys can see here, we got Josie here. Josie and yeah. So we got some mods. We got a lot of mods actually. We got pretty much everything. We can kind of go places, you're not supposed to go, and so on, right? So we got, for instance, sexy move walks and so on. We don't need to do all that stuff. We have sitting animations and all that, but you'll see that everything's going to be exactly the same. It's a relatively simple process. There are some stuff in it, but we're going to go ahead and just save here. I'm going to create a new save. I don't think you have to do that if you don't want to, but so we're just going to go through this step by step really quick. So I have Vortex open, but we don't actually have to have Vortex open, so I'm going to go ahead and close it. All right, so the way that this works, and I'm just going to tell you guys the principle behind it before we get into it. So basically the way that this works is Fallout 4, you can transfer your game saves right now, and that is of 1/7/2021. It could change in the future, but you can transfer your game installation file to anywhere you want to. as long as it's created, as long as you have a Steam library already established there. There's tutorials on how to do that, so I'll leave that up to them. But I'm going to go ahead and say that when we transfer this, it is going to automatically verify the integrity of the game. And it may not do it right then. It may do it while you're playing the game. I actually had it happen to me, and some of my mods stopped working, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was because you have to verify your transfer. And what's actually happening is when you move it, even though it's moving it for you, it doesn't actually register that it's a legal copy of the game. So it's one of those steps we have to do. All right, so our next step here is to basically get copies of our clean ESM. Now, you could probably go into your backups and just change the names on those. I find it's much easier just to create a file that's named clean ESMs, as you guys can see up here. And then we're just going to go ahead and go into our, basically our Steam library, Steam apps, common, Fallout 4, and then data. And we're going to want to find our first one, which is the Fallout 4 ESM. So it should be under F. Should be right here somewhere. All right, so basically the folders you want to find is the DLC Toast ESM. Put it here. DLC Nuka World ESM, DLC Robot ESM, DLC Ultra High Resolution ESM if you're using high resolution, DLC Workshop 1, 2, and 3, and then of course the Fallout 4 ESM. So now we have clean copies just in case, because we're going to have to re-verify this in order to make it be recognized as a legal copy. So now that we have all of these here, our ESM files, we can go ahead and close this. And so the next step is going to take a little bit of time, but because I can edit it out, it's going to be really quick for us. So all we need to do is go to the game that we want, as long as it's a Bethesda game. I don't know if this works with other games, but I'm going to say it definitely works with Bethesda games. So Fallout 4, right-click on it, go to Properties, and then you should be able to see Local. And then you go ahead and say Move Installation Folder. Now I want to move it to my new hard drive, which is the B drive. So it's going to automatically move it. Now make sure that your Vortex is closed, and then you just hit Move Folder. Now this is going to take a bit of time, so I will see you guys here in a sec. All right, thanks to the magic of editing, it is completed. So it just says successfully moved 260-some-thousand. Okay, so we can just hit close now. And just to check it, we went from D to D drive. Now see how it says it's requiring, it's requesting an update, which we're gonna have to do. You could prolong it if you basically have updates turned off, which I do, but you're eventually gonna have to update it. So just to check to make sure, we should now see Skyrim Special Edition and all of our stuff. So when you do this, it doesn't just transfer it. So depending on how many mods you have, it's going to determine how long it takes. It could take an hour, depending on your computer and stuff. So just let it finish, and once it's done, everything's been moved. Now the only thing we have to do is basically make all of our shortcuts. We have to change those and basically just enter in the new drive number. We're going to go through that process here now. So like I said, we got all our clean ESMs here. That's the first thing that we want to do, is we're going to want to go ahead and just update this game. I don't think we have to run it, but if you guys do have to run it, you probably want to go to your documents, go to Fallout 4, and make sure you copy your Skyrim prefs and stuff. Don't worry about all of my things here. I already have them saved, so I'm not worried about it. But you'd probably want to copy these 3 files just in case. Fallout 4 is like that. If you were to do this with Elder Scrolls or even Special Edition, it's not even gonna ask you. So you'll have to basically force it to do that by launching the game, and it will automatically update it for you. So just to show you what I'm talking about, this is going to be another problem you guys are going to run into. So we might as well tackle it now. It's not really a problem. It just makes things a little bit harder. So as you can see, these have drive numbers, but we have moved Fallout, but it's missing, right? It's not on drive D anymore. So we have to change that, basically. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah. So it says D drive and so on. So that's what we need to change now in order for it to pick it up. Just like Skyrim Special Edition, we need to do the exact same thing. We just need to add in the install path and then restart. So how do you find your install path? You go to where the game's located. Go ahead and click on common, and then obviously we want this. So it's pretty much this right here. Now the easier way to do this for me personally is to just go to properties. And you should be able to cover pretty much everything here. But if you take a look at it, most of them should be like this. It should be the exact same thing. So if I hit Control C, if we were to look at this, so I'm not going to change anything. Just look at the path. The path here says D drive, so on, Fallout, and so forth, right? So I'm just going to hit cancel. So that should be our thing. We should just be able to change it to the drive letter. So we'll try that first. So capital B, and then we're just going to hit apply, and then close it. And we'll relaunch loot to see if it's actually going to recognize it, which it didn't. So this is not the right one. So we're going to go ahead and just do it the correct way, and that's to put the full path. So all we have to do basically is copy this into here. It's missing common, so we're going to go ahead and do it's backslash, and then it should be the name of the game. So just to save myself having to type it, I'm just going to lazily do that. And we're going to go ahead and put that on the end here. So Control V. So this should find it now. So when we hit apply, this should work. Error game specific setting, not to be cannot currently, and so on, and vice versa. Let's go ahead and close it and open it back up. And you guys can see that it's now telling us that all of these things are all busted, right? So let's go ahead and close it. Open up our Fallout 4, go to data. And we're going to want to use our clean ESMs. Now there's other ways you can do this. I'm just showing you the way I did it. Probably not the most efficient way, but so you want to just paste it back into your data folder. Just replace all of them. And this is going to make it like nothing ever changed, basically. So now when we open up loot, you should see what you had before. It's the first process. It's the first process in this. So you can now see this. You can actually go ahead and sort your plugins and check to see if there's any problems. And obviously everything's fine because everything got moved. So now we just need to deal with the actual mod. So this is where it can be really confusing, and I'm going to show you, like, this is the trick to it. There's a trick to it. So you open up Vortex, and it's not going to be able to, it's going to say, we don't have that game anymore. See? Fail. You don't have to worry about that, though. All you have to do is go here to hit activate, because here's the thing. The mods are still there. So it knows where the mods are. So if we hit activate, it's going to be like, I don't know what's going on here. Everything's broken. You got to fix it. What we actually need to do is go into settings and ignore all this stuff. Go to your actual mods. And then this location, as you can see, is actually wrong. So we're going to want to basically move it to the correct location, which should be the B drive for me. For you, it would be whatever that is. So it should work. We hit apply. So it says this destination is empty. So what this means is we need to open this up. We need to go to the B drive, go to Vortex mods, and we need to basically create. we need to basically put Fallout 4 here. We need to create a new file, put Fallout, and then 4. And then the reason for this, why it wouldn't let me just transfer it that way, if you guys want to know, is basically this way you can put multiple mods, you know, and multiple, staging areas in the same location. So this should be it. We're going to select it, and then this should be fine. We hit apply. What it's going to do is it's going to take all the mods from our staging area on the D drive, and it's going to put them all on here. So it does take a little bit of time. I mean, I have some massive mods. All right, and there you go. Load it up for us. So everything should be correct. Now, we are going to have to fix some of these things, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that next. So if you don't want to have to actually like click every single button, there's a trick to it. And so it says misconfigured scripts extender tool. That's actually correct. It can't deploy the mods. So we want to dismiss these two red ones. We don't actually need that. Deployment method no longer supported. So if you look at it and you hit show details, it's fine, right? So we want to go to where it says misconfigured script extender tool fix. So if we go to the deployment and hit deploy mods, this is the trick. This is what can screw you if you don't do it right. And that is, you want to revert all the changes, because this is going to delete almost everything. So you just hit revert. You know, revert all of your changes. You don't need them. You know, revert all, right? And hit OK, confirm, right? And what it's doing is it's not going to change any of your mods. It's not going to delete them. Everything's going to be fine. Deployment method doesn't matter. So that's what you want to do, is just hit revert. You don't have to actually, like, it'll say, do you want to delete files and stuff? And you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to have to re-enable all your mods. So I believe we had 65 mods going. So if we go here, 65 mods going. So all of this stuff is not going to be in the right place now. This is the only one that probably is in the correct location, because it was actually located on the C drive. So this is the next step for this, and that is to change all the locations. Now it automatically recognizes your Fallout 4 script extender. It automatically, recognizes that, but it's not going to recognize the Fallout 4 edit. So you're going to need to go to change it just like you did when you first installed it. So it's not on the H drive anymore. We're going to go ahead and just go to the B drive here. Go into Steam, Common, Fallout 4. Then we'll go to our Fallout edit. I use Quick Clean. I don't use the regular one. And then boom, should fix it. You can see that this staging area is wrong. So you probably want to do that as well. It just needs to go to edit scripts. So we just need to basically go like this. Go to the B drive. It actually is kind of weird. It took us to the right location. It's very strange. Edit script. That's very strange. It took us right to the right location, but you guys may not have to do what I just did. You can also just delete that entire path and it'll just fill it in for you. So hit save. And we're going to go ahead and test it. Just make sure it works, right? Make sure it works. I wish I had some money to donate to Patreon. So there you go. So that's working. And then we just keep doing that. So same with body slide, outfit studio. We're going to go ahead and click on here. Go to edit. Obviously it's not on the H drive anymore. If you guys know, I had it on the D drive and I moved it to that drive because my other drive became corrupted. So I did this in a real quick hurry and I didn't even change these, and I thought, hey, why not do a tutorial? So instead of D drive, we're going to go ahead and change it to the B drive. And we just do the exact same things. Body slide outfit studio. We want to go to common, Fallout 4. I just did this for Skyrim Special Edition. So it should be under data. And then is it under body presets? Tools? Body slide? Body sliders. I don't think this is the right location. Just give me a sec. Doing a bunch of different games. So it's not under body presets. It should be under tools, body slide. There it is. So it's under tools, body slide. If you're doing it for Fallout, it's in different locations for each game. So I'm assuming if you guys got this far, you probably have been modding. So we're gonna go ahead and pick the 64-bit, and then it should have automatically, as you can see, it automatically changed it for this one, not the other one. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit save. Gonna go ahead and pop up the old thing. And then it says, here is a problem which you guys are probably going to run into. It says, please launch the program with admin elevation to make sure the game data path is setting is correct. So you hit OK. Now you can also just go here and change it, but we're going to do it how they said to do it, because it is right. You want to do that because it won't actually edit files sometimes. So for your first run, a lot of people don't know it, but if you're gonna run, if you're gonna run that, you want to run it as administrator for just once, and only if you're transferring it. So now it's saying please relaunch it. So that didn't work. It actually worked for me for the Skyrim Special Edition, but anyway, we just need to change the path to the correct one. So that's not going to be really that hard. So we just basically need to do the same thing we did before, which is we want to go ahead and go to properties of the file, and we can just copy this right here. And it should take us, it should be the exact same, because we only need to go to the data file. So if we hit Control V, we could basically just go like this, go back like so, and then data, right? We got the right data. And then we could go ahead and hit OK. And then it should fix our problem now. So now if we want to edit some stuff, it should work. But let's go ahead and restart it. Go ahead and restart. Just make sure it doesn't give us the same error. And there you go. It's working. Now I'd show you guys some templates and stuff, but I guess I probably could. We could do the Children of Adam. I could look at. We could see what that looks like. So preview. There you go. Some piece to the Children of Adam. Who knows? I don't remember that being part of the outfit, but whatever. Okay, so let's move it back to what I had it on, which was pretty sure it was on physics. All right, so that's fixed. So all the pathways have been fixed. Now, if you guys are like me and you created shortcuts on your desktop, you could do the exact same thing. So we already copied it. So it means this: when we go here, when I go to properties, I'm going to want to change. I want to change this path, right? It's got to be pretty much the same. Now, a lot of times you could just get away with just hitting B and just changing the path drive here. You could just change the path, and it's usually the same. Steam, app, common, and so on, right? So we could go ahead and hit apply, hit OK, and then it should start the game now. Go ahead and test that. Hard to believe we're actually almost done. We're going to be, might as well test the game out since we're here, since we're doing that. And I have a directory path that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you guys look at when we first started, how much quicker this is going to run. I actually have to click on it to get it to start, but it is going to be so much faster. It's going to be so much faster because we're on a solid state drive instead of a disk drive. It was really upsetting me, honestly, if you really want to know, that I was having that. So all I need to do now is just transfer my World of Tanks. Now, I'd really like to transfer Skyrim, the original, but I think it just has to be on the C drive or it doesn't work right. So let's check our stuff here. Let's see. Nice. So you guys can see something. So a bug was actually fixed, and that is when I was running, the jets wouldn't come on. And I noticed that on a solid state drive, it's almost like it just doesn't detect it properly. But yeah, let's go ahead and check our physics. Like the physics is working. I didn't add any booty physics to this, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think there's a couple things we got to check on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit save. just do a new save for the hell of it. And then go to desktop. So we have all of these worked out. The game itself will automatically be recognized, and so will the script extender. You just need to change any other ones, Rybash and all that stuff. So we can go ahead and just close this. So the only thing is my Fallout 4 directory isn't right. So we've already gotten, yeah, it takes a second, and I think it's because it realizes it might actually, if you have a custom icon, it might actually ask you to redo it. So I'm hoping it does that now. But we should be able to do the same thing, just B drive, and it's the same location, right? The exact same location. So let's go ahead and hit apply. Hit OK, and then we'll double click it, and there you go. There's my game directory. So pretty easy, I think. And since I have the clean ESMs, I'm going to go ahead and go to my backup drive, which is actually my E drive now. I used to have H drive, and that drive was just going out on me, so I basically unplugged it today when I got my new 500 gigabyte solid state for $50. Not bad. This is where I keep all my backups. So we go here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and paste this. Wait a minute, drag and drop it. So it looks like we already had the clean ESM. I put ESP. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. I'm pretty sure these are done better. So that's pretty much it. So like I said, you know, having an actual game backup, like if you guys check this out, most of my games, if I'm going to transfer them, I will make a backup copy of the game itself, an entire copy. I have 2 copies of 2 different times just to make sure. And I could probably get rid of these, and I can now make a new one. Seriously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't think you guys will run into any other problems, honestly. Seriously, it's just that simple. You know, you transfer it, and then you have to just basically get the game to recognize it. But I think that Vortex, as far as I know, is the only one that can do this. I don't even. It actually says and recommends for you to not do it. It literally says don't do it under the knowledge base. And I was like, I did it, and it works fine. So I'm happy about it, honestly. Like I said, I would like to switch Skyrim from my main drive because it's kind of you know, solid state drives don't do well when you're putting mods on and off. So I might actually try to move it and see. I just know that you can lose your sound, all your game saves can become corrupted, all that stuff. So, you know, it's because it's kind of attached to being on the C drive. But I got the Skyrim Special Edition to work. I just had to basically restart the game like 3 times, and I kept cleaning out the saves. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's my first one I've done in probably 3 years. And anyway, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if it worked for you, and have a good one. Later.